Hi, my name's Holly, I'm a computer science tutor and I run Teach All About It. Today we're going to be looking at another past paper question for changing pseudocode in paper 2 of the CIE iGCSE computer science syllabus. We are going to be looking at a genuine student answer that was submitted as a practice question in my online distance learning course. So massive thanks to the student who gave me permission to look through their answer with you, so you're going to be able to understand exactly what you need in order to get full marks. So let's get started. Okay, so in today's lesson what we're going to do is we are going to look at the algorithm on the left. Now the algorithm on the left, we've been told what it does using those 3 bullet points. So we've been told that it's going to input 25 positive whole numbers for integers. So it's going to find and output the largest number. So this is the largest number that has been input by our user. It's then also going to output the average of all of the numbers. Now we have been given a question here where the algorithm needs to be changed to include finding and outputting the smallest number input, and describe how you would change the algorithm. Now, my recommendation on this one is to have a scrap piece of paper as part of your exam and write yourself a really quick trace table. If you write the trace table, you'll understand how the algorithm works to find the highest number, and that will help you then add in finding the lowest number too. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is to pause the video, and then once you've had your own go at this, we are going to compare your answer to our real student answer. Okay, so let's have a look and see what we've got here. Now this student has actually made a slight error in what they've done. However, they have met all of the criteria for the mark scheme. Now the error that they made was that they changed this so that it only found the lowest number rather than including both the highest and lowest. So the algorithm in this case needs to be changed to include finding and outputting. So we need to find and output the smallest number. Now notice there I'm highlighting all of the important information, and that's what you should be doing in your exam as well. Now this student has some really good exam technique because they have specifically said on line 2, on line 8, and you can see there we've got a mark for line 2, a mark for line 8, and because we've actually been given the marks, sorry, the line numbers in the exam, then we want to refer to them. If they give you line numbers, that generally means they want you to use them in your exam. Okay, so in this case, I would change the value of b from 0 to 100. Now that is over here. Now the value of b is very low at this point because it's trying to find the high numbers. So in order to get the smallest numbers, you need to start with a very high number. Now we know that the numbers are only going to be so 25 positive numbers less than 100. So those numbers are going to be somewhere in the range of 1 to 99. So if you started with a value of 100, you're definitely going to have something which is higher than any possible input. So here, I think you possibly would have definitely got a mark sort of here, but then you've got another possible down here for the explanation. Now I've been quite mean on this one because I've only given a mark for saying 0 to 100. I'm going to change the value to that higher number. So I've stuck quite closely to the mark scheme, but I think in the real exam the extra information explaining why might actually get a 3rd mark there. On line 8, then changing that d is more than b to d is less than b. This is testing for that value where the new input number is lower than. And the mark scheme is really looking for you to state that the value of d, or technically the value of your new variable looking for smallest, is going to be output. Now this student actually ran out of time. However, even with the running out of time at the end of that sentence, when it was submitted, they still managed to get full marks. So I mentioned a trace table, and the reason I would write a trace table for this is because it will help me order my thoughts. If I look at this one, what I can do is I can go, okay, so I've got A, B, C, and D. I can just draw a little line across here. There we go. Now A, B, and C, they are all set to 0 at the very beginning because you need an initial value. Now technically I can see down here that both of these are being used for a particular reason. So A is a counter. It's telling us how many times we've been around the loop, because actually we're in a repeat until, not a for loop. So the counter is going to help us with the average. C plus D here, this is a totaler. Now a totaler keeps a running total. If you're going to do an average, you need a total of all the numbers. So within the loop, we're creating a totaler in C. So technically, in order to make any kind of change, we don't need these values. We're really only looking at B and D. So we can make this even easier. We can go B and D. So B starts at 0. I'm going to choose a number between 1 and 99, just because it's going to make life easier for us. It's going to be correct. So 50, let's go straight in the middle. If D is 50, to find the highest number, B would need to be now 50. Now imagine I've got a new variable that I'm adding in there, and I'm going to call this S for smallest. S is going to start at 100. Now I'm going to have an if statement in there, so that exactly the same as you would have here. If D is more than B, then B is going to take the value of D. Well, this is going to be different. This is going to be if D is less than S, which it is. That's going to be the smallest. Okay, so I'm going to now go for 25. I input 25. If D is more than B, which is this one again, if D is more than B, D is not more than B, D is now 25. 25 is lower than 50, so we ignore that one. But if D is less than S, S is then going to take that value. So you can see now B is finding the highest number I've input and S is finding the lowest number I've input. So essentially what you're doing is you're taking what's already there and you're just adding to it. Okay, so these are the kind of questions that you might be asked in the real exam. They are a little tricky, but they are much easier if you use a trace table. So would you like your practice question featured on one of my videos? You can send in your revision questions for free for GCSE, iGCSE or A-Level Computer Science at teachallaboutit.school, where there are loads of independent study resources. Or you can join my distance learning tutored courses at teachallaboutit.uk. Please don't forget to give this video a like if you found the revision useful, and of course you can hit the subscribe button to get notified each time I upload new revision videos. Lots of luck with your revision, and I'll see you next time.